So although Thailand can be paradise for most people, there are some dark or hidden truths about Thailand that are worth mentioning, especially if you want to live out here. Starting with... So wildlife in Thailand can be dangerous, with Thailand being the home to snakes, monkeys, insects, and many other dangerous marine life creatures too. So some safety tips would be to avoid walking in any long grass or deep jungle areas. Don't approach or feed any wild monkeys. Check your shoes for insects. And if you come across a snake, for example, then now that snake now owns a sidewalk, so it's best just to let it pass and wait your turn. And depending where you are in Thailand will change what you see. But sometimes you could end up seeing wild or stray dogs roaming around, either on their own or in a pack. And it's best just to leave them alone. You don't know quite how friendly they are, or even how clean they might be. And I don't imagine it's anyone's favourite thing to see, which is why some people feed them, but then that starts the cycle of feeding them, and then they remember, and now that's their spot on the corner, just like a little drug dealer. More wildlife dangers would be the mosquitoes, because they can spread diseases. Health authorities advise travellers to avoid bites, because many of the diseases have no vaccines, or even specific treatment. To protect yourself, use insect repellent, or spray, or do what most of the locals do, which is wear long sleeve clothes, which is why the locals, even in 30+ degree weather, are almost completely covered. I mean, those are the two best ways to shield yourself from the army of mosquitoes that will come hunting for you as soon as you leave your condo. So maybe a combination of, bug spray and covering your skin as well. That's probably the best way to avoid getting bitten. Traffic accidents, which is actually one of the biggest risks for tourists here in Thailand, because Thailand has one of the highest road death rates in the world, with around 20,000 traffic deaths per year. Mostly from motorbikes or scooters. So even if you're a young Lewis Hamilton, that doesn't mean you know how to drive on the Thai roads. And it doesn't mean you know how the Thais drive. It's very different from the West where there's traffic laws, because here, if there's no police in sight, it doesn't seem that there's any rules to follow. It's common to see grab drivers driving on the path or up the wrong side of the road. So be careful, and honestly, I avoid motorbikes altogether and just use car taxis just to be on the safe side. But if you insist on renting a bike, wear your helmet at least to avoid the fines and at least be somewhat safe. Because for example, the road near my condo is actually one of the most dangerous roads in Pattaya. I think it's actually got the most accidents in the entire city. And without getting too graphic, I've seen a few of the aftermaths of these accidents. They're not uncommon, and it's always a foreigner, so be careful. On to the next hidden truth, because you've probably seen stories on the news or articles about foreign tourists getting mixed up with the wrong crowd, or they've just been caught and that's who they're trying to put all the blame on maybe. The truth is, most trouble in Thailand starts with who you trust. Tourists who stick to reputable vendors, licensed guides, and people they know well usually stay safe. But those who chase shortcuts, cheap thrills, or exclusive insider experiences with strangers are far more likely to find themselves in trouble. It's not just the nightlife or party scene, so make sure to check Thai laws before you do anything serious, because some groups will target tourists for fake tours, dodgy investments, debt traps, and the list goes on. Now this one's a not so hidden truth, but scams and fraud happens in every country, so why would Thailand be the exception? And the scams themselves they attempt could be anything from the fake gem scam, to the taxi meter scam, to this palace is closed scam, the jet ski scam, or even something as simple as a fake website for the TDAC where you have to pay, because you don't, so don't be fooled for that one. And also, petty theft like pickpocketing can also happen in crowded markets and tourist areas. But I'll say this, I do feel safer here in Thailand than in the UK. But that doesn't mean I act like an idiot and leave my wallet somewhere unattended. I don't need to test how safe this place is that way. It's not Dubai. Because Thailand has also faced issues with online romance, scams, call centres, fraud operations, investment scams that target both locals and foreigners, sometimes operating across borders in Southeast Asia, which can make it even harder for authorities. But the Thai government has definitely increased crackdowns on organised scam networks and strengthened cybercrime laws more recently. But tourists and residents are still advised to stay alert, verify businesses before making payments, and avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Now onto the weather, because the weather in Thailand can be crazy, and each year it can face natural hazards like flooding, storms, strong rip currents, just to name a few. The weather has no in between. The sun can be out shining and then 5 minutes later a giant cloud has appeared and the rain comes down like the heavens have opened up. This weather challenges can cause power blackouts, so be prepared for that. They don't usually last too long, but it has happened a few times, especially over the rainy season when I was here more recently. Also, the wind can get intense sometimes, especially I'm next to the sea, so I'd probably feel it a bit more than if you go inland. And if you're like me and you have a little 5'0" Asian girlfriend, then hold on tight, otherwise she could just blow away. The winds themselves are nearly that strong. And if you can handle all that, then make sure you can handle the heat itself, because it can get very hot all day, every day. I mean, the yearly average temperature in Thailand is nearly 30 degrees. And that's the average. But if after all that you still want to move to Thailand, don't worry. I've got just the thing for you in the form of a Move to Thailand guide. Link is in the description below if you're interested in moving to Thailand but don't know how to. That's down in the description if you're interested. But I'll leave it at that for now. And yeah, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.